333. R.I.P.P. Don P. PhD. Yo. I said, R.I.P. TV. Tell a homie. Mob Deep Mondays, that's everyday, thoughty. It's all for the community. That's what P showed me. We lost without the unity. Where the fuck is the OGs? R.I.P.P. God bless the real. Only for the righteous. The rest will go to hell. Flipping through the book of Revelation. Figure it out. Transliterate the translation. Do it yourself. It's the last days. Life is a test and we in a cage. Concrete jungle. Everyday struggle. Fuck the pain. I'm on some HNIC shit. Hegelian 3 shit. If you don't know what I mean, you was never G. Real shit. R.I.P. Yo, P, play that beat back, 333. Burn some weed, we repeat that. Shake me up a Tuka pack, break me off for 20 pieces. I'm gone, never looking back. Y'all can't talk to me. R.I.P. TV, tell a homie. Mob Deep Mondays, that's everyday, thoughty. It's all for the community. That's what P showed me. We lost without the unity. Where the fuck is the OGs? Like the weed, play some IMD for me. It's hell on earth for real.
Yes, sir. Gentlemen, man. You know what it is. All good. It seems to be a day. It's a good day outside though. Gotcha. You in Queens? Nice. Mm-hmm. Mm. Mm-hmm. Oh shit. Okay. That's what's up. Yeah, we are. Yeah, so I mean, only 3 teams did the rookie mini camp. The Jets, I believe Vegas, was it Vegas? And one other team. I think it was the Jets, Vegas, and one other team. But yeah, I mean, at this point, I mean, you had the one guy at Denver, the tackle, who injured himself doing workouts on his own. So I think he's just out $10 million because of that. And I think they are.
Oh, there it is. My bad. If it would have been in team facilities, he would have been his contract still would have been paid out, right?
Right, right. But because he was working out on his own, that I mean, they could void that. So it's $10 million. So I mean, I get it. The players know this already, but what do you want them to do? Like you
So
only want them to work out at their, you know what I'm saying?
so the Patriots had over 50 players at their facilities.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I mean, come on, dude. You know, once one player goes in New England of all
True.
places,
It's the way.
you kind of this is the way. You kind of have to
This is
go.
the way. Yeah, no doubt.
But here in New York, dude, they're July 1st fully open, so
Yeah.
Roger Goodell's
They're
expecting
voting.
full stadiums by on next season at kickoff. So
I mean, they're saying July 1st, but you've gone outside.
it's
We
already
already
happened.
got the full swing.
It's
It's
already
already here.
happened.
What are we talking about? July 1st is here already.
It already happened because, like I said, I played golf today, and all the old guys at the golf course they had an outing. Dude, they were
Yeah.
all hanging out together at the clubhouse, no mask, no nothing.
Of
Everybody's
course, this is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying.
it's a
Like
wrap.
the more and more I'm out in the streets, the less and less, frequency I see masks.
Well, not only that, if you've got Jacksonville having hosted a UFC fight with 17,000 people indoors, there weren't people dying in the streets or in the stadium, and then Canelo fight had 72,000.
But hold up though. It's Florida though.
Yeah, I
and
know.
Florida just does whatever Florida does.
Of
they
course.
got a whole host of other shit, the ailments. You know what I'm saying? Gator foot and all that other shit.
GMO mosquitoes and shit down there.
You know what I'm saying?
But the Canelo fight Saturday had 72,000 people at Jerry World.
Ooh. Well, then Jerry World can hold like $108, $110.
Yeah, it was still one of the biggest in-person crowds in boxing history because they don't typically have 70,000 seat arena for boxing.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's fully open up here. Like, dude, I didn't
Also, Jerry World, Texas, Mexico, mad Mexicans, and Mexicans ride for their boxers. That's just a known. And Canelo, champ, obviously they were gonna pack that thing out.
Yeah. You saw he ended that guy's career. You don't come back from shattering your eye orbital. You're not, because it's just going to keep happening. That's kind of Sugar Ray didn't. It wasn't his orbital bone, I don't think. Well, I know Hearns had gotten his orbital bone broken. He was able to come back, but we're talking about it's Tommy Hearns,
fight to ever do
who's also was very, very tall for his weight class, able to keep people away.
Mm-hmm.
But if you see that injury, it's like a whole chunk of his eye orbital just dislocated from the rest of it. So he's not, and that guy was undefeated.
Woo.
His first loss cost him dearly. But he's a boxer. He's going to come back in there and get that shit shattered again and end up blind in that eye.
Jesus. Yep, it's funny because
it's true. He's a boxer and he don't know anything else. All right, so let's get back to football. Clearly, since there ain't shit going on, the big elephant in the room, Mr. Timothy Tabau.
We said this was happening anyway. Urban Meyer teaming up again with his.
We said it, and
football greatest hero.
I was watching. I watch Pat McAfee show all the time, and they have failed to mention how this is a leadership role. This isn't like him going in and being the number one tight end and getting 86 catches and 1,200 yards. This is to show leadership. Now, the funny thing is, does that transition into an NFL locker room?
Well, I'll say this. He's home. Florida's his home.
Well, Jacksonville is also his home.
That's what I'm saying. So he does have a lot of influence in that community. He is highly respected down there. So it could, especially with the younger players.
Yeah, of course. Well, if you've got a what seems to be a
and it's a very young team. Let's remember
extremely, you've just placed the crown on your new quarterback, who is not a very vocal leader. He's a leader by being very, very good.
What up,
Roger Harper? What up, homie?
What up?
Yeah, Tebow becomes instantly one of the oldest players on the team.
31. Yeah.
Yeah. So Jacksonville's very young. So I see, especially coupled with Urban Meyer. Yeah, I could see the Timmy Teebs effect.
I could see it. Plus, also, boy, could you run some gadget plays with your tight end now? Jesus.
Sure. And let me tell you something. All those players remember Timmy Teebs slinging it to Demaryius Thomas and then beating Steelers in overtime to win it. Win that playoff game. They remember that.
Anybody who knows me knows the only thing I care about on a football team is, do you have a real quarterback? Mm-hmm. And I'm a Tebow fan because, God damn it, that guy won football games. Dude,
yeah.
Roger, do you remember that string of wins that the Broncos went on when they put him in, and they were winning like 12-7? And
for sure.
No one understood how they were winning.
You got a lot of Pittsburgh fans up here in Columbus too, so.
They hate that.
He crushed them.
Not only that,
game that you'll never forget.
They went on a run.
Because that Pittsburgh team was good.
Well, Denver went on a run to even get into the playoffs. They went to Tim Tebow because they were sucking, and they were like, whatever, just put him in.
Yeah, because
Exactly.
Kyle Orton was there, right?
Kyle Orton, remember, they put Tim Tebow in one fourth quarter, and he had some miracle Jesus comeback, and then it was over after that. They're like,
316, baby.
you gotta put this guy in. He's got Jesus on his side, man.
That's it. Yeah, even John Fox would be on the sidelines shrugging his shoulders like, I don't know.
I don't, whatever. Just get the W. Who cares? Who
Just
cares?
give a shit.
So let me ask you guys something. This is definitely the proper forum for us to do this on. So there is a social media backlash, obviously, from Tim Tebow getting back into the NFL and Cap not getting back into the league.
So what I've been seeing and hearing is mixed reviews on both parts. Some people glad to see him back. Some players are mad he's back.
I can get the social aspect of it, but people need to understand that this Urban Meyer doing this has nothing to do with football. This isn't a football move. This is like a team building leadership, and Shad Khan is bringing Jacksonville's native hero back home. They got to fill up those pools in the stadium somehow. Ain't nobody going to Jacksonville games right now.
Timmy Tebow will fill the stands, period.
At least for the
Definitely.
And imagine if they start winning.
Yeah, him down there. I mean, Trevor Lawrence is gonna. People are gonna come to see Trevor Lawrence, but also having Reeves on there, and then that's Urban's guy. That's always gonna be like talk about having your guy. That's forever Urban's guy. I mean, so is Aaron Hernandez. But
Tim Tebow's one of those athletes that it doesn't even matter if he's good. There is a faction of fans that will go just to say that they saw Tim Tebow play.
That's it.
That's all big person.
Just to be in his presence.
Yeah, it's nuts. So now, the non-football astute watcher would also have to realize that Tim Tebow is not coming back to play quarterback either, because that would never happen. There's no team in the NFL that would even consider it. No.
I'm sure they had a conversation. If he came back, what position would you like to play? I mean, I'm sure he had a serious conversation. Because like you said, they are friends, and he played for him. So, they definitely have. You definitely let him know exactly what he could do to help the team. I'm sure.
Well, now he's doing what he should have done a long time ago.
Exactly. What he should have done 6 years ago. When he came to the Jets, he should have just said, listen, Mark Sanchez is the quarterback. I'll play H-back, period. That's it. Not these weird, Mark Sanchez is finally getting on a roll.
Then bring him in for a 1-yard dive or something.
Plays, Mark is out of sync. It took him a long time to get in sync. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. And then also, he's preserved his body all these years,
Yeah, he's been playing baseball. He probably actually has a better throwing motion now. He's probably got a better arm after playing baseball for the last 6 years.
And he actually could have. He was actually going to be AAA. He was a AAA Mets. So he could have actually gotten called up at some point this year.
Well, the rumor is that Urban gave him a call. I'm just like, yo, I kind of want you to come to Jacksonville, blah, blah, blah. And he just was just like, well, I got this opportunity now.
That makes sense because who leaves? Like, you went from single A to triple A. Like, you're here now. You're right at the precipice of getting in.
After not playing baseball since high school, for fuck's sake.
See, he's an incredible athlete.
Yeah, I was going to say people have to you have to put all the social stuff aside and the media hoopla that comes with him, and he is a ridiculous athlete, like just ridiculous. Absolutely. And as far as football player who ever lived,
listen,
it's tough to. He's in the conversation.
You would hardly arguments. I mean, you would have a few people in the conversation, but yeah.
Roger Harper's guy, Archie Griffith. Yeah,
Archie Griffith. I was gonna say Archie.
You win 2 Heismans. You're in the conversation. I don't care.
Oh, right. Definitely.
But both said at the same time.
Yeah, we might have most Heisman trophies. If I'm not correct.
Oh, is that a fact? Well,
we have to do that. I have to do that research.
Yeah, I wonder. You have to think of all those older guys from the older institutions.
I'm thinking Notre Dame.
Fuck that. Navy probably got all of them from the beginning. Like Roger Staubach and shit,
Right.
So, all right, so let's look at it from the other football aspect. Kaepernick was not a very effective NFL quarterback over his last 2 seasons, by sporting a 3-16 record and the worst completion percentage in the NFL.
To be fair, those San Francisco teams by that time were garbaggio.
Yes, they were. And if you're going to have a quarterback like Kaepernick who does not have any touch, who only has, he jams the button on Madden, he's throwing a rocket every single time.
I will say this: there was a game down in Miami that he brought them almost all the way back when he was balling.
Well, I mean,
the Miami defense was giving him props because they were like, "Oh shit."
Well, everybody remembers the game against Green Bay where he beat them by himself.
Absolutely, playoff game, huge. I mean, and he took them to the Super Bowl, then he took them to the NFC Championship game. Could easily say was a hair away from winning the Super Bowl and a hair away from going back to the Super Bowl again. So, I mean, it's not like the kid sucks. He did.
No, not at all. But he became a victim of the Tebow effect, which already had been established of your backup quarterback is not worth having press conferences and media, like the media bombarding your backup in the locker room. And then another aspect that they talked about today is the media asking all of their teammates about the fucking backup quarterback all the time. Like, oh,
But I'll say this, though. Four teams he could have started on.
Yeah.
You mean to tell me he couldn't have started over Teddy Bridge?
Of course.
There's multiple teams. I look at the quarterback situation. Obviously, Denver. You had a wide receiver who was working as an accountant, and you called him to throw professional passes.
All right, so let's remember. You got to remember the Carolina Panthers owner ended up having to sell the team or stepped back from his leadership position because he's an old racist asshole. So he definitely was a signing cap. Yeah, he definitely was a signing cap.
Richardson or some shit like that.
Yeah, something like that. He was in the Bank of America, big into Bank of America or whatever.
Yeah, he used to play the game back in the days. He was the first player to ever own a team.
Yeah,
the first former player. Yeah.
So it'd be interesting because, I mean, especially now because the RPOs are so present and whatnot, it's more tailored towards Cap's game anyway.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, there are squads that should be calling him not for backup to be the starter. Still, right now. To this day.
Try to think any places that he would fit. Well, I mean, if Aaron Rodgers leaves Green Bay, he could slide up in Green Bay because Jordan Love is not the answer there, Gootsy Coot.
Why not Minnesota?
Oh, Atlanta. Woo!
Why not Atlanta?
Atlanta would be the perfect landing spot socially also.
And it would be the running game also.
Yeah. And you've got Julio and Pitts there who are both giant targets who can have giant catch radiuses for bad throws.
And also, Denver.
Yeah.
Yes. With that defense, you get Von Miller coming back. You got Bradley Chubb. They kept Jonathan Simmons, and then they got Surtain Jr.
It'd be close to a homecoming because he went to Utah State, so he'd be back in that area.
He went to Utah State?
Yeah.
I thought
Cap was Utah State, dude.
Okay.
No, Nevada State. I bet it was Nevada. Yeah, the Lobo.
Yeah,
it was the wolf.
Yeah.
Same colors.
Yeah.
Utah State and Nevada State, same exact colors. I got that one screwed up, but it was Nevada State. Yeah.
I knew Utah State wasn't.
Yeah, the Lobos. I'm telling you, man, they were always on. They had a lot of Thursday night games.
Killing it.
Yeah.
He was killing it in college.
That's what I'm saying. That's who I knew who he was. I'm just like, damn, this guy is really fucking tall for a quarterback.
Yes, and I couldn't wait for him to start in San Francisco. I was like, oh, he's going to take Alex Smith's job. And Harbaugh wanted him.
Yeah.
That was Harbaugh's guy all the way. Speaking of him, how he still got a job?
He took less money to stay.
Sucks.
He took less money to stay. A significant pay cut. It was like 40% or something retarded.
That's cool, but is that going to make the team better that he took less money?
No, because what Harbaugh has proven is he wears out his welcome very early, very quick. It's like a 3 to 4 year time period, and then The culture kind of gets tired of him. Now, it helped in Stanford because he had fucking Andrew Luck. That covers up a lot of shit when you've got that guy. And then...
Yeah, he also had CMC.
He had CMC right at... Like, you've got... Somehow at Stanford, which had been trashed since John Elway in football, you land these two, like...
Well, they had Tommy Vardell.
And Toby Gerhart. You want to say that, too? Yeah, he was a Heisman finalist. Let's say his name, too, Kerry.
Yeah, Toby Gerhart.
So, what else happened in the wild world of the sports this week? Because football wise, it's literally like nobody's even showing up to OTAs. The whole numbers thing, that's the big news. They changed the number system, so like single digits now open for running backs and outside linebackers, corners, and things like that.
Well, it's like if you would have had like the old Miami or Florida State linebackers, yeah, they love those Florida defense loves single digits.
It looks good, man. It looks awesome.
Linebackers.
Michigan did for the longest time too, single digits.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, if you saw, you knew if you saw somebody wearing a single digit number that guy's a motherfucking stud.
Oh yeah.
You don't get those jerseys. There's only 9 of them, and 10 if you got a 0.
If you wore like the number 2, 2 was a hot one.
Number 1.
If you're 1 and not a kicker, then you're the fucking man.
Yeah, like Percy Harvin, but he was 1 all the time. Yeah, if you were 1, you were crazy.
Number 7. That's a good number.
7. All of
that
them.
was Gamble. Chris Gamble. He wore 7. Right?
Yep.
So it's funny because the way the NFL works, because we already talked about it before, if you do the jersey swap after a game, you have to pay for that jersey. So,
really?
Yeah, so like after the game, if you two swap jerseys, you guys both have to pay for the one that you gave the other person.
Wow.
All right, so if you want to switch numbers, because Dalvin Cook wanted to switch to his college number.
Okay.
In order to switch numbers, you have to buy out the remaining stock of the already made jerseys with your previous number. So if you're a popular player, Dalvin Cook, it was $1.5 million to buy all the jerseys. So he's like, nah, I'm gonna just stick with 22. I'm good.
But did Kobe have to do that when he went from 8 to 24? I doubt it.
See, the NBA's different. It's different, right?
I was about to say Kobe did not. No, because Kobe said they're gonna buy both.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's a collector's item, and now one's the new shit.
Yeah, the NFL's a little bit different, Kerry. They don't even care. They make everybody pay for it. So Dalvin Cook's was $1.5 billion. He's like, I'm not changing. So here's the funny thing: if you go to a new team, say you're a free agent going to a new team, it doesn't cost you anything. You get to go switch to a single digit for free.
Yeah, that's true.
They haven't made your jerseys yet.
That's true.
Yeah. He might have to pay the player who has the jersey unless he's not a star.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, that happened in Indianapolis because Carson Wentz came and Michael Pittman already has 11. And Michael Pittman told Carson Wentz to his face, nah, bruh, I'm keeping this number. And Carson Wentz was just like, okay, whatever. And I'm just like, well, that's not a very good sign from your quarterback to be like, okay, what? Okay.
We know those okay people.
Michael Pittman already thugged you out. The season hasn't even started. I can't wait till they're in the huddle and he's like, you better throw me the motherfucking ball, you bitch.
Michael West.
Well, there's also rumors of Julio Jones, the Colts trying to make a move for Julio Jones. And if they do that, I can see Michael Pittman getting shipped.
I was going to say, why would they do that? That's interesting.
Because they're in a win now mode because their roster is kind of loaded.
They are loaded. But Julio has not been healthy.
They're drunk off of the Julio effect. Like, oh my God, it's Julio.
I get it, but he's not been healthy the last 3-4 seasons.
So essentially what you would have is 2 of the same kind of wide receiver that are and like
my young
they're like
a go rock and roll receiver for an older model that is always breaking down.
Well, they'd have 2 of them. They'd have T.Y. and Julio, both of them in the 2 years past their prime.
Yeah, man. No, I wouldn't do that move.
I'm not saying I'm just saying those are the rumors because I'm guessing with the whole Michael Pittman, I'm not giving you my number thing. I think there might be a little bit of contention in the front office about Michael Pittman with his 1 touchdown and 200 yards last year being like, no, I'm keeping 11.
Yeah, but he had a 100-yard game. It was later in the season.
Yeah.
He was hurt.
No, I know. I'm just saying it's like, dude, as a wide receiver, you got a free agent, big-time $100 million quarterback coming in, and he wants that number. Yeah, homie, you can have it. As a matter of fact, here, I'll hand it to you. Just
yeah, but if Carson Wentz was coming in with some wins, like if he was coming in, or even if he had like that moxie, like that same feel as a Stafford, then yes.
Nope, it's the quarterback, man. If I'm a wide receiver, I want the ball. Here, you can have that jersey. You throw me the ball.
Last year, I could. I mean, but you got to think how these new kids think. He was garbage.
No, I know.
Like your job got taken by someone who no one thought would actually even play quarterback.
I mean, you can say all that, but at the end of the day, which is a statement I hate to say, he is still your quarterback. So he's the guy who's throwing you the football.
Well, guess what? He ain't throwing no passes yet. He ain't my quarterback yet, son.
And I can see Michael.
That's what I'm gonna rock with Pittman on this.
Well, I can promise you, I am not rocking with Michael Pittman early on in the season in fantasy football, homie, because
I gotta wait and see.
Yeah, Carson Wentz looks like he might be a type of quarterback to be a little bit emotional and hold a little bit of a grudge.
Yeah, because he wasn't even throwing the rock to Alshon Jeffrey, but then Foles comes in. Alshon Jeffrey is blowing up, and that's how they're beating teams. Alshon Jeffrey, he's crushing every team. It's like Wentz didn't even know who Alshon Jeffrey was.
Well, that happens. Quarterbacks have that. We've seen it so many times. Quarterbacks have their favorites.
But he was the best receiver on the team.
Well,
how do you not be your best receiver on the team?
Well, see, this goes to show you that I'm telling you, maybe Wentz ain't like Alshon Jeffrey, or Wentz looks like he might hold grudges.
He's in love with his tight end.
Yeah, he might hold grudges, so I'm looking for Michael Pittman to not have a very good year statistically.
Well, the thing is, who's Indianapolis' tight end?
I don't fucking know.
Remember?
Yeah, I don't know.
So he's gonna have to throw it to somebody.
Yeah.
Ty is his guy.
Paris Campbell's back in the fold if he stays healthy.
Okay.
And then didn't they have another guy that was getting busy because Ty didn't show up until like 3 or 4 weeks left in the season, basically.
They actually have another fast receiver.
That's what I'm saying, because Pittman didn't show up until the end, and Ty was a ghost until the end. So somebody had to catch passes.
Griffin didn't even know who Ty was until the end of the season.
Somebody had to be catching passes. So there was somebody out there.
Paris Campbell, and then but they ran the rock a lot. You got to remember, they had 3 running backs, and then they went to 2 running backs mostly.
Well, see, that's the thing that could happen for them is they could take Nyheim Hines and put him in the slot.
Yeah.
Because he could really run routes. So
right.
Well, they have that versatility. So we'll see what's up with them. So apparently not everybody in Jacksonville's front office is excited about Timothy Tebow coming into the team, because they feel like that roster spot could have been used for an actual tight end.
Okay. Granted, but let's see what Timmy Teebs gives me.
I mean, it's not like he's guaranteed a spot. He's just going to camp.
Also, Logan Thomas, former Virginia Tech quarterback, 6'6", 7",
is getting busy now.
Converted to tight end and got busy. So, I mean, Blake Bell is still doing his thing.
And
quarterback Oklahoma.
There's one thing about this guy. He is a winner. And he does bring winning to the locker room. He just we watched it when he was fucking quarterbacking for the Broncos. It did not make sense how they kept winning football games.
Come on, man.
Let me ask you a question. Did they give him any kind of money?
I didn't see about the contract, because that will be very indicative about if he's like guaranteed.
Yeah, exactly. That'll make a lot of sense right there.
I mean, I don't think that they're going to cut him. I'm telling you, this is all about leadership in the locker room and setting the tone and things like that.
I don't see that. No way they cut that guy.
Are you kidding me? That guy lost a game, gave a press conference in his shoulder pads crying, talking about nobody in this world is going to play harder than me the rest of this game, and they did not lose It didn't look like they lost a snap the rest of the season. They blew everyone out.
Like he had looks like blood streaked all over his face. No, yeah.
His eye black was running because he was crying like it was mascara.
That was a Jigga moment. He said, "I will not lose."
And they didn't.
He had a Jigga moment, and then he didn't.
He didn't. And then they made a statue out of him and then put that speech on the fucking statue. This is the type of guy that's coming into the locker room, man.
Yeah.
That's who he is.
Leader. Yeah.
For crying out loud, they said you don't get to play quarterback. And he's like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to go play baseball. I haven't played since high school, but I'm going to go play baseball. Fuck this shit. And then he makes it to the AAA. Are you kidding me?
He volunteers to take babies for fun.
Yeah.
Like he just goes across the lands. That's what he does. He touches the earth, corn grows.
So here's the real thing though, because you know the NFL locker room is there's a lot of alpha males and a lot of guys who are there just to get money and a paycheck, and for other things they're not there. They don't really give a fuck about winning and all that shit. They're not on the Tim Tebow shit. But if you get the right types of players in that locker room who are all about that locker room will be amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, that's funny you say that. My rookie year in Atlanta, coming home after another loss, we went 6-8 that year, my rookie year. Coming home and after losing games, me coming from Ohio State, winning tradition and all that, I get to Atlanta Falcons, we losing. It's a big party on the way home on the airplane after we lose. I didn't know that shit didn't register with me, man. It was crazy.
Listen, I feel you. When we would catch losses and people would be on the sidelines talking about what party we're gonna go to, I'm looking at them like, are you crazy? We're losing. What are you talking about? The last thing I want to do is go to a party. Like we got to figure out how to win.
Yeah.
I did not want to party. I didn't want to be around people. Like, we just lost.
Yo, you were ever on a team when players were having that discussion during an absolute ass whooping and the coach heard it? That happened before.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
I thought our coach after the game, because we got destroyed by 40, like blown out, and he heard some players talk about what they were trying to do after the game. He was a Vietnam War vet. All right, so you remember what's that Stanley Kubrick movie where the drill sergeant is just fucking going in on the dude who?
Yeah, that's my favorite. The first 30 minutes are the shit. Yes.
Yeah. That's Apocalypse Now, isn't it? Is that what it is? No. The other one, the other Vietnam War, but it was like that. I thought this guy was going to have a fucking heart attack. I literally thought we were in Vietnam. He was going the fuck off. And then when we got to college,
Private Pile,
Full Metal Jacket. That's what it was.
Full Metal Jacket. That's it.
Thank you, Chris. That's why I like the followers, man, because I smoke too goddamn much.
Private Pile.
I will tell you though, in college, that shit ain't happen. We had the hill. You remember that hill Walter Payton used to run up?
Oh yeah.
In between our actual game field and the practice field was one of those, and it was 60 yards long. Anything that you did was at minimum 10 of those. You dropped a punt, 10 of those. So imagine what happened to you and the team if somebody was dumb enough to talk about where we going. And honestly, everybody, I went to college 15 minutes away from WVU. We all knew where we were going, whether or not we lost or won. Fuck, we're going to Morgantown. Who cares? We don't need to talk about this shit.
Oh, I heard some stories about Morgantown. Let me tell you, my friend.
Legendary party school. Legendary.
Yeah. I know a couple folks who went there.
There's a distinct possibility they might not have finished school there.
You know what? They did, but they had a full experience, I'll say.
I mean, it's still the only place that I've ever seen that during celebration, well, they don't do it anymore, but they used to set their couches on fire and put them in the middle of the street and just set the couches on fire.
See, this is what I don't understand, right? What you doing that for? Like in Boston, when they win championships, what you flipping over cars for? What you doing that for? What you setting shit on fire for? It's supposed to be a celebration.
Couches at that, Carrie. It was just couches. It wasn't stuff. Always couches.
But why? For what?
All right, so do you remember that Miami with oh man, they were loaded. Who's the dude?
Decade.
Kellen Winslow Jr. That whole time period.
Okay, so that was Sean Taylor, Kellen Winslow.
Loaded. Willis McGahee, that whole squad.
McGahee.
Yeah.
All right, so WVU, Miami's like number 2 in the nation or something. WVU with Quincy Wilson, who I played with in an All-Star game. Quincy Wilson they still call it the run because he ran over like 3 people, then hurdled the Miami dude, and then ended up running into the end zone to win the game. It was on CNN the next day that there were over 99 reported couch fires on one street in Morgantown after that game.
Wow.
Roger Harpett was on fucking CNN on the ticker because I was in Boston in college at the time, and I wasn't even watching sports. I saw it, I was like, over 90. It said 99 plus couch fires reported on High Street, which is the main college run. Dude,
that's crazy.
Shit used to be chaos there. Chaos.
Wow.
That's some real trailer ass shit, Joe.
Yeah, and you could moonshine everywhere. Everybody makes their own shit, man. Yo, Roger Harper, I swear to God, you go to a WVU game and everybody has moonshine, and they're like, yo, try mine. I made this out of apples. I made this shit out of raspberries. Like, it's fucking insane.
Have you ever had prune shine? Prune moonshine?
No.
It'll get you right.
I don't drink. I don't want something that can make you go blind.
Well, damn. Did they make it with Drano?
It's moonshine, dude. This is like
ether and shit.
Yeah, I know. No, but I mean, if you're from the South like that, I got folks down there.
Like it's nothing. They drink it like it's.
Yeah. Grease lightning, corn liquor, all that. What I'm talking about.
Yeah. I got family in Alabama. We get
so you know that corn liquor. So
yeah.
So the Colts signed Eric Fisher.
Interesting. That's where he ended up.
Yeah, he ended up with Indy. So that's a big signing for them because he might not be top tier left tackle, but he is a competent starter in the league. He might not have panned out as the number 1 overall pick, but
he came back. Remember, he retired a little bit and then he came back. So yeah, but he's still a big piece.
Yeah, that was the stress of being the number 1 overall pick and failing. It wasn't even a physical thing; it was mental for him. He had a little breakdown.
But he still had a good career, though.
Yeah, no, he ended up making a couple Pro Bowls, didn't he? That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I said. He's a competent starter right now.
All-time, Hall of Fame, like an all-time player, but he was a damn good player for a long time.
Well, and he still is. That's what I'm saying. That's a big pickup for them.
Yeah.
I mean, because Carson Wentz doesn't do well under pressure.
Right.
He's not. And it sucks though, Kerry, because his rookie year and then his second year when he was really, like, before he got hurt, was really, really playing.
Bendy. He was real bendy.
Yeah, he had a bunch of off-platform throws that really impressed me.
He would duck under pressure, then pop up again, and he's not like he's a short dude. He's 6'5", so he was real bendy. But after his knee injury versus the Rams, he was trying, but now he's more statuesque. So
I know exactly which throw you're talking about too, where he completely ducked under and threw it on the run. Not looking this way. And when I saw that, I actually, for a touchdown to win the fucking game, I actually called my brother and I said, Carson Wentz is next. I said, did you just see that throw? I said, there's not too many people who could do what he just did. Well, like you said, an injury changed his whole trajectory.
And bendiness, and so he was trying to play as if he did. So he didn't adjust his game well.
Yeah.
His injury.
He should have made a phone call to Chad Pennington because that's somebody who adjusted well to his physical limitations.
Absolutely.
That guy couldn't throw at 40 yards and played 10 years in the league like that.
You know what? He could have contacted Joe Namath.
Yeah.
Not a lot of people know that Joe Namath used to be a hell of a runner when he was at Alabama, but he had an ACL. And then after that, he wasn't as mobile anymore. He didn't run like that. And then both his knees ended up going bad. but he was a runner. He used to get busy, like scoring rushing touchdowns, and was mad accurate, throwing darts all over the place. So that injury changed his trajectory, and it was in college.
Yeah, well, especially back then, a knee injury back then.
He was the greatest Jets quarterback of all time.
Yeah, that's so fucking retarded.
60s.
Yeah, Nice would tell you that Zach Wilson is, but it's Nice's birthday today. Happy birthday to Nice.
Oh, happy birthday, Nice. Hey Joe, I was tuned in last night.
That was a fun one last night.
Yes, it was.
I would have known, man. I would have. I mean, I did know, but I would have jumped on in.
Nah, we just because Nice just put out him and Havoc put out an EP on Friday.
Right.
So I had Nice stop in and we just played the EP, and then Santana Fox popped in out of nowhere. So
yeah, I saw that. I peeped that.
It was a fun one. So it's always fun if you can get a guest to come in there, but it's it's a multiple. It's just like this. It's multiple hours. It's a big commitment at a time. So I don't expect anybody to commit their time.
Yeah.
I do it because I'm committed to it. So even when you guys do it, I always say, thank you for your time, because this is a long ass. This is fucking 2 to 3 hours.
Yeah, but
thank
for
you for the bond and the friendship,
especially in the off season, man. It's tough in the off season.
That's what we here for.
Oh, Roger Harper, I was absolute trash on the golf course today, homie. Woo! Did not have it out there.
Wow.
It's all good, though, because I'm getting out there Thursday, so I got all the bad shit out today.
Okay.
Other two things going on today. Colt Brennan died.
Oh, yeah.
What?
Sure.
Yeah, Colt. I don't know why.
Fentanyl. They said fentanyl.
I knew it. I already knew he was because he had so many tattoos. He had drug issues in college. That's how he ended up in.
God, that's how he ended up in Hawaii.
Yeah, and throwing for like 37,000 yards under June Jones.
And then he went to
my old coach,
Washington, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then but he had issues.
He had issues, and remember, because he kept getting. You got to remember his career, man. This is back when I used to really, really watch a lot of college football. His tattoo game just kept extending as his career did, and that's usually
a sign.
That's usually a sign you got some, some substance abuse issues.
Yeah, he also, because he did get a shot in the league. I mean, Washington was really on him like that. And then it just didn't really pan out. And
the NFL, especially at quarterback, takes too much focus. Too much. You can't have any distractions like that.
Especially when you go to a team that's quarterback starved, they desperate to have you in there, so they're going to throw you in right away, even though you don't have a good squad. You know what I mean?
But yeah, no, I used to watch him in Hawaii because I always loved because he wore a visor. I always thought that was cool as shit for a quarterback to wear a visor. Way before Manziel and everybody did that.
Also, June Jones's
offense is because Timmy Chang came right after him, and he was broke his records, and then Timmy Chang was the first Asian quarterback to ever be in the NFL, even though he never even got snaps because he wasn't very good.
Correct.
That was all June Jones' offense.
Dan McGuire. Mark McGuire's brother, who was 6'8", quarterback, he wore a visor.
Oh, really?
He did.
I did not know that, but yeah, I see. Colt Brennan was the first one that I ever saw. It just looked dope. It looked cool.
Yeah.
And plus, he was playing in Hawaii. I thought that shit was dope as hell. I'm like, man, he's in fucking Hawaii.
And they were putting up 50, 60 points, 500, 600-yard passing games. So they were exciting to watch and I followed June Jones because I watched June Jones when he coached Atlanta. Because I was and I was rocking with Atlanta then too. So I was like, well,
the running shoot. That was his running shoot offense that he incorporated it. What everybody does now, 4 receivers, tight end, slot tight end, things like that. June Jones started all that.
Exactly.
Well, plus I end up watching a lot of those games because at those times Hawaii would be on. It might be 2:00 in the morning if it was a home game for them where it might be aired. So it was just like there's nothing else on. I'm definitely gonna watch it.
We also got to remember Jack Pardee in Houston down in H-Town. We were doing run and shoot with Andre Ware, which is when he won his Heisman. They were doing it all over. And then Dave Clinton came in and then broke all his records, and then he got obviously drafted high to Cincinnati. Didn't pan out.
Oh, yeah, I'm from West Virginia, and I played at Fairmont State, and we played against Glenville State, home of and birthplace of modern offensive football, because that was Rich Rod's first offensive system was Glenville State. He was the first coach to run this form of offense, this run and shoot, RPO. And it's crazy because he...
RPO, yeah, because he had all those cats.
Well, he said he created that offense because he didn't have... All he had was athletes. He didn't have football players. He's like, he had to make something up in order... Same thing that...
He had Slayton and he had Pat.
Yeah, he got those guys. And it was just like, all right, I got you two. All right, let's...
Slot receiver playing quarterback, and then like another slot receiver playing running back.
Yeah, let's see what we can do. And then another slot, Darius Renault, number 2, playing slot receiver. Dude, they were just...
Slot receiver.
Yeah.
He was number 2, right?
Yeah, number 2. Those 3 right there.
Small, but fast as hell.
All 3 of them were.
They were all tiny dudes. Yeah.
And it's the same thing that Bob Huggins said in West Virginia. He came up with the whole Press Virginia thing because he didn't have any basketball players. Yeah, I didn't have anybody that could shoot. He's like, I just had to make up. I had to play to my player's strength, which is a sign of a good coach. So, Zoom is doing its thing, so let me shut this down. I'll send you an email. And this week, we are breaking down the Chargers, and I'm excited about this because I watched them all last year, so this is going to be a good conversation. So, I'll see you guys in 1 minute. All right, let's break down. I almost called them the San Diego Chargers today. It almost happened. It's still hard for me not to refer to them as the San Diego Chargers. Yo, Benjamin, congratulations, homie, on finishing your dissertation. And if you got to write about football, that's fucking dope because I'm sure you are well versed in it. And I wouldn't even have had to do any research. I just wrote that shit. Because, in football in general, I would have had to done some research. But if it's just about NFL football, I would have, man, I appreciate it, man. Anything that I could do for anybody in the 333, I'm glad that anything that I can do helps anybody in any way whatsoever, because I typically just do hit stream and I start smoking blunts, man. Then we go from there. So there's another thing that's going on in modern day football, and I'm all for it.
Talk to me.
So, the Raiders, in one of their end zones, are putting a club. Bottle service, like 1,700 person capacity club. Bottles.
It is Vegas, though. Come on now.
Dude, nah. DJ set up, bottle service, tables. They're putting a club in one of the end zones.
I'm telling you.
You know Vegas, how dope that shit is going to be?
That is going to be dope. Vegas was the first spot where I went to the club, and they had cabanas and the pool and the whole. It was the first time I went to a club like that. I mean, they also bang you in the pockets, crazy. But
so can you imagine they're playing football and all of a sudden, somebody orders a bottle and they come out with the fucking sparklers and shit, and
that's what they do. You already know. And it was funny. You go into this spot, you go in the club, and now depending on where you went, because it was like Memorial Day. So, all the NBA players who got bounced, wasn't going to make the playoffs, they were there. NFL players before the season, they were there. So you're walking around, and so all these cats got all the tables. So then you're just a part of the others. The people, the fillers who are just there, because they are the stars of the show. But then you go to another spot, you have the table, and then you're the star of the show. Then all of a sudden, you don't have to do anything. You just stand there. come to you because they don't know who you are. They want to know.
Yeah, of course. That's always the best part.
Which team you play for, who you play for, what you do.
Who
This little piece of shit table with some grossly overpriced liquor with a sparkler coming out of it, and then all of a sudden everybody's eyes on you. This is where we live.
Yeah, who the fuck is that guy? I always love that shit. Who the fuck? It must be Alchemist. That's what always followed him with me, though.
I love it.
So, this is a Steve Wynn club.
Hmm.
So this is a Wynn sponsors thing, and aptly going to be called the Wynn Zone. Dude, this shit writes itself. I don't make this shit up.
Because I hate it.
All right, so it's the length of the end zone, so that's 53 yards.
Right.
That's pretty big space. 42 televisions, a 9 foot by 30 foot LED screen, 2 DJ booths, a 45,000 watt sound system. It's an 11,000 square foot space that they're creating in the end zone.
Okay, now check this out.
That's a big ass fucking club, dude.
What's super funny about all of this is your franchise quarterback is the biggest lover of Jesus of all time.
Yeah, I know, right?
Timmy teams. Yeah.
You've got Calvin Harris in the end zone fucking dropping bass and shit while you're trying to run a 2-minute drill.
While Derek Carr is trying to save babies with Timmy teams and spread the word of Jesus. Yeah. Derek Carr does not belong in Vegas.
All right, so this is kind of the way that new sports stadiums are going, though, because they're trying to attract more people that aren't even interested in the game itself. The whole Green Bay bleacher seating, you know, like old school stadium, like fit as many people as we can, pack this house, football. That kind of is like, you're going like Vegas, Jerry World, Patriot Place in New England. It's got like a fucking mall around their stadium right now. Like, it's retarded.
I mean, you look at
Minnesota now, their place.
Think about like even platforms. You think baseball.
Well, that's where it started.
Citi Field, yeah, where the Mets play. It's amazing. Like Yankee Stadium just became like a sterile. I remember old Yankee Stadium. That shit had heart. This new Yankee Stadium is just
like a hospital. Yeah.
It's like, yeah.
It's actually like a fucking museum.
It's like, it's real septic. It's real, you know what I mean? Like, it's not like a real, like, old Yankee Stadium. But Citi Field, that shit is crazy. Like, you don't even have to rock with the Mets, but you should. But their field, that's the place to go. That shit is hot. I mean, you talk about food, like, they got chefs.
Yeah, chefs and restaurants and shit.
Yeah, like chefs doing this thing.
And you know, instead of having just like, you know, Miller Lite every 15 feet, they'll have like microbreweries and shit. Like
microbreweries, yeah. It's like a brand new base. Like
it's like sports entertainment, because you have to do that because the home experience has gotten so much better. You got fucking 100-inch 4K, 12K flat screens. You can be on your phone. Your food, smoke, drink, whatever is all there.
They're doing that in every city. You got to look Seattle. And they're also, it's funny because a lot of these ballparks are competing for chefs, legit chefs that work at these ballparks. It's crazy. So you have Seattle. They have their gourmet menu when you go watch the Mariners.
Pittsburgh, the Pirates Stadium's incredible.
Yeah, man, it's a brand new day. So when you're gonna go out and have sporting outage, you already know you're spending money. So they want you to like really go out. Is going to a sporting event is gonna be like a couple G's.
Yeah.
Really soon. Like you're gonna spend a couple G's doing everything that you do, just going to the game, all the concessions. Obviously the parking and all that. Clubs now. Yeah, you're looking like anywhere from 2 to 5 G's.
Well, so in minor league baseball is kind of where this got its start, because there were a few stadiums that started to put like hot tubs and pools in their stands and shit.
Yeah, but it was for novelty.
Yeah, and then that crept into the major leagues.
Yeah. Well, didn't they try to do that in, what was it, Arizona?
Yeah.
Where they would, like, going into, like, this.
Yeah, they tried it. It wasn't really.
And it's like Milwaukee, I think they did it, where you going into some beer or some shit like that.
Yeah, so now you're starting to see this in football because Minnesota's new stadium's retarded. Basically, every stadium that gets built's multi-billion dollars. The new stadium in LA, who knows what the hell they're going to do with that shit? What all's in that?
I mean, look at Vegas, and you telling me they're going to blow that out even more because they're going to put a club now.
Hilarious, and it's like it's a win club.
They're going to do Miami.
Oh my god!
Let Miami have a little bit. Let Miami have some real success this season, and then what they're going to do to try to really blow that stadium out. We're talking Miami.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, you know how fair weather their fans are, so they would have to do something like a Vegas, like put a club there, you know, have Alex Rodriguez own a restaurant there or whatever.
Dude, the mock-ups that they have, this looks like the funnest way to watch a football game that I've ever seen, though. I would totally sit in the end zone club and watch a fucking game.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what they want.
I tend to enjoy outdoor stadiums so that I can at least take a vape pen with me because that Patriots and Steelers game that I went to a couple years ago, I went through 2 fucking vape cartridges during that game, Roger Harper. It was going down. I looked at the people around me. I was like, yo, anybody here smoke? Because I don't want to take these cartridges home. And we were, everybody, let's get it.
That's what's up.
Hell yeah. And I told every single one of them, I fucking hate your team with a passion. I hope you all die. But here, hit this pen.
That's love.
So when we can get back to good old-fashioned tailgate, because I know about some sweet-ass tailgates out there.
So, Roger Harper, what we were talking about while you were gone is, so the Raiders are adding a club to one of their end zones, like an actual club, 11,000 square foot club, 45,000 fucking watt sound system, like
what?
2 DJ booths, bottle service, like girls, all
wow,
that.
that's gonna be crazy.
What?
That's all those guys with that makeup, with that face, all that shit. That's gonna be for them.
That's going to be with everybody who got that bread, because those tickets are going to be not only expensive, it's going to be tough to get those, because you already know it's Vegas, so you look at it at casinos that already bought those out.
Mm-hmm.
Already bought those out. Those are for high rollers and whatnot.
And then you're looking at your VIPs who live there, Money Mayweather.
Yeah, shit like that. And then you're talking about, like, this is a win thing, and he's already talking about, like, I said Calvin Harris for a reason. He's talking about, like, no, I'm bringing in, like, the world's biggest DJs, all their people and whatnot. So
residency there.
Yeah.
A la Celine Dion.
Could you imagine? Oh, that'd be the illest fucking residency ever if you were the resident DJ for fucking Raiders games.
Raiders, that'd be crazy.
That's an ill gig.
The Roots on, the Tonight Show. Look at that. Whoever thought that?
Yeah, I know, right?
You know what I mean?
Yo, shout out to P going on the Tonight Show and performing motherfucking USA.
Roots, I remember that.
I was like, you're really going to go perform that one, dude? He's just like, yeah, fucking, who cares? I was like, whatever, that's why you're you.
That was a hot show, though.
Yeah, this is, so, Roger Harper, this is what we were saying is this is the new wave of stadiums. It's more than just the game being played. It's like entertainment now.
Oh, yeah. The game has definitely changed.
The food is off the charts at these new stadiums, dude. It's like, it's not popcorn and fucking hot dogs and shit anymore. Yeah. It's just like real fucking food.
$20 French fries with the, the certain brand and all that shit. I forgot the name of those fries that got now.
Truffle fries.
Ruffle, there you go.
Yeah, truffle fries. Truffle fries with
$40.
fucking.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, but you know what? That shit is worth it, though. When you're there.
This is what I was saying, Rod. I was saying it's going to be, going these games, going to be $2,000, $3,000, $5,000 outings.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yo, I want to see the stadium.
Paying for everything?
I want to see the NFL stadium that puts a top golf driving range off to the side of their fucking field.
You spending G's to do these things. Yeah.
You just gave somebody an idea, Joe. Shit, I'm sure somebody will hear that shit. That's a great idea.
Hell yeah! Can you imagine being at the drive? Because if you've never been to Top Golf, people, you should go. It is bowling for golf. There's a club. There's food. There's an arcade. There's pool tables, and the shit's it's just big giant light up targets, and you just shoot them at the target. If it goes in the target, it's literally bowling with golf. People out there, and the food's really fucking good. I was surprised. It's really expensive though, but you know, can you imagine? Like I'm telling you, man, just reserving one of these tables in the end zone is going to have to be at least like $50,000. Yo, can you imagine how much a bottle is at this fucking club? Because you know Roger Harper, I don't know, man. I don't know how it is. I know in New York, man, you go to the club and you try to buy a bottle of Henny, it's probably going to cost you $1,000 or more, depending on which club you're in.
I bet.
Yeah.
I bet.
So I'm imagining a bottle of fucking Cristal or something, or Ace of Spades at this Raiders club. It's just going to be like $10,000.
I'm trying to think what club it was. I can't remember. We had a little table thing. I mean, it jumped to like 2,500, couple bottles, you know, of like nothingness. You get the shit like for $45 at the liquor store, you know. But now you out here paying $800-900 a bottle.
Yo, so I had this Russian client, and her dad was like the Russian Elvis. Yeah. Like, so she had like well-funded.
Wait. You just said the Russian Elvis.
Yeah, they have movies about him.
Wow.
In Russia, he's like huge. He was huge. He died early. He was like a Russian pop star, really in that same era. Died tragically early. Anyway, needless to say, she was extremely well funded.
Gotcha.
So for her birthday, she goes to Kiss and Fly. I don't know what Kiss and Fly is now, but Kiss and Fly at that time period was stupid, retarded, expensive to get into, right? So long story short, I go up to the bar because I'm tired of waiting for all the bottles that she ordered for her birthday, and I go get a shot of Henny. It's $38. I was just like, all right, I'm going to go back to the table and wait for when the bottles come. Yo, she dropped, I think it was $35,000 on bottles for her birthday. Yo, Roger Harper, she spent $5,000 just to get us in because Nice was there. If he was here right now, he'd tell you that night is the things that happened to us that night are beyond epic. I can't even talk about them while people are watching some of them. But it's infamous. We were all dressed. We had like hats and hoodies and shit on. They wouldn't let us in. $5,000 cash, just to get us in.
Wow.
So can you imagine what this fucking place is going to be like? You're right. Floyd Mayweather's going to be there. Drake.
I mean, think about it. Just like in a regular restaurant anywhere, a shot of Blue Label will cost you $45, right? That's the bartender, right? $45. Just a shot, one shot of Blue Label. You go there, we're talking $1.45.
Easy.
Dude,
Roger Harper, you're right. Mayweather's going to be there.
I'm saying he's going to be there. He's going to have his reserved spot. He lives there. Why wouldn't you think he would have a reserved spot?
And it's hilarious because you've never seen him in a football game before.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, now
and he'll have his entourage with him too.
Of course. So, you know, like Mayweather, like everybody huge is going to have a table. Why wouldn't you?
Actually, Tyson could. Tyson's out there.
Yeah.
Why not? To be in the mix. I mean, I know it likes to, and he'll be able to smoke as, you know, he'll be able to chief it out.
Yeah, because it's legal out there. It's Vegas.
So, yeah.
It would help if they were any good.
Maybe Celine Dion, because she's there doing her
Celine Dion.
I mean, maybe she shows up.
Maybe if they
maybe she's Mike Tyson's Martha Stewart, like Snoop and Martha Stewart. Maybe it's gonna be Mike Tyson and Celine Dion. We don't know. Could happen.
Nah, that shit's gonna be wild, man.
It's crazy. That's why Derek Carr needs not to be the quarterback in Sin City. Sorry.
I think he has to be.
He's the conscience of Sin City.
I mean, he's like, you can't be somebody who goes out and gambles and likes hookers and like.
That is true. That is true. Yeah, you know he's not going to do that. Maybe he is the best quarterback for Vegas.
All right, imagine Johnny Manziel landed in Vegas for one fucking training camp. 3 days into it, he's done.
Yeah, he wouldn't survive.
Drunk all night partying.
Yeah, you just would not survive.
They wouldn't be able to find Josh Gordon. He would never.
For some players, it wouldn't be good for their health.
That's what I'm saying. Josh Gordon wouldn't even show up to practice. You know, like.
I mean, he was in some sweet situations. I mean, I was really hoping that Seattle situation worked out because Seattle's literally such a chill ass spot.
Yeah.
It is such a chill ass city. You know what I mean? You don't. It doesn't come with a lot of the pressures of other cities. I know where he's from, H-Town. Obviously, I spent a lot of time there. I know what that's like. Seattle's not like that. Cleveland can be tough. I get that, but Seattle's not like that. Like he could have really made it out there. Sad. Such great talent.
Yeah, outrageous. So, let's break down the Chargers. I almost called them the San Diego Chargers because it's still in my head.
Obviously.
Still in my. It's going to take another couple seasons for me to erase that.
Yeah.
So this is fun because though they were maddening and frustrating to watch if you were a Chargers fan, I'm not an actual Chargers fan. I just like watching Justin Herbert and Keenan Allen.
He's both our guys.
Yes, definitely our guys. Everybody loves Justin Herbert because their coaching staff made the worst decisions in the league last year, in-game decisions by far.
I mean, they were up there with Atlanta and I guess Detroit. I mean, Atlanta made terrible decisions. I mean, it was
San Diego. I did it again. It was the Chargers and the Falcons going neck and neck for like 4 straight weeks on who could lose the worst.
And I was really stumping for Anthony Lynn for a long time until I could not anymore. I was like, I cannot. He was killing me with his calls. It was terrible, just horrible.
So, clearly the biggest thing with them is health because a lot of especially on D, big time players got hurt.
They've been snake bitten for years in that way.
All right, so you and I have talked about this before, years ago, that they must have like a bad training staff.
That's what I'm about to say because they are like traditionally hurt at big positions, especially on defense, safety, linebacker, DN, all the time. All the time. Their running backs can't stay healthy. LaDainian was about the healthiest running back they ever had in history. Michael Turner was always hurt when he was getting busy. Darren Sproles was always getting hurt when he was getting busy.
Everybody gets hurt there.
Yeah, so
Drew Brees with the shoulder injury.
Obviously, he was like this. You know what I mean? He was looking like a Michael Jackson Thriller dancer.
So every time I think about their trading staff, I think of Any Given Sunday. I think of the head trader for Any Given Sunday. I swear to God, I'm like, that guy's got to work there.
James, I always call him James Spader. No, the other one.
Yeah, that guy.
That guy. Yeah, he was the sport, like just giving pills. Like, yeah, go ahead.
Here, just popping needles in the knees. Here you go. Get him back out there.
Yeah, LT, the real LT, who signed that waiver just so he could play, just so he can get that $1 million.
So
he cut the car in half, though.
Yeah, the biggest thing with the Chargers is coaching staff turnover. So they got a whole new coaching staff now.
Yeah.
So they bring in this new. What's the name of their new coach? Brandon Staley, is that his name?
Oh yeah, and he's from the Rams tree, Sean McVay.
The McVay tree. Okay, so let me read through their coaches that they added once he signed and see if we know any of these names.
So he's like a heady coach,
yeah,
like smart guy. He's one of those guys.
Let's see. I don't know any of these guys. Don't know you. Chris Beatty. I remember him. He played for a while. He's a wide receiver coach. Okay.
He did.
Derek Foster is the running back coach. I remember him. Mm-hmm. Alex Spanos is the coaching fellow, so Spanos is still involved with them.
Wow, does he have a ring gauntlet?
Huh, that's interesting because that's the ownership. So the Spanos family is the ownership group. It's the majority, right?
Yeah.
So to have a coaching fellow, ownership to have a coach, that's interesting. I've never seen that before. I mean, he owns it. He can do whatever the fuck he wants. But that's interesting. Interesting.
Hey, you got to learn. He wants to learn it all.
Kevin Coker is the tight end coach. That's where he ended up. Shane Day is the quarterback coach. See, it's always those quarterbacks that like never get a snap in the NFL that end up being quarterback coaches.
Sure, why not?
So clearly these all have to be people that he's has a history with in some sort of. Derwin James back into the roster, healthy.
Hopefully, he's a monster when he is.
Let's see. They released Casey Howard, the corner.
Yep. Yeah.
But I don't know, but they picked up Asante Samuel Jr.
Yes, he did. Yeah.
And let's see. They'd signed Jared Cook was their big pickup because Hunter Henry's gone.
And also, you got to think Asante Samuel Jr., Derwin James, Florida State connection.
Yeah, it's always fun to do that.
Yeah.
All right, so let's go to their depth chart. Justin Herbert. Where's the ceiling on this kid? There is no ceiling.
Love him. Smart as fuck, athletic, can throw from all platforms.
Big.
Strong. Willing runner. Tough. And he's, especially near the end of the season, he was really showing what kind of leader he was. And really showed me that in that game versus Vegas, where they were going back and forth, and they ended up winning that game because of a Justin Herbert run.
So the question is, year 2 is always big in a young quarterback. That's where you take the leap. You're supposed to, because now you start to grasp the mental side of being a quarterback a little bit. So this is big for him. How do you take a leap from what you imagine if he does take a leap from what he already did? It's going to be like.
We also got to think about this whole new coaching regime. So how do they leap with him?
Very true.
And then because as soon as Austin Eckler came back, Anthony Lynn gave him the rock like he was LaDainian.
It was that we talked about that all season, dude. It was crazy.
What the hell are you doing? So how is Austin Eckler, Justin Jackson, like how are these running backs going to be utilized? And then who is the tight end who's gonna? Well, obviously he has Cook, so that's great. He has his tight end. So yeah, like how they're gonna utilize him versus utilizing the running game, and who's gonna be the prevalent force because I don't think that they have the stable of running backs to maul people. So if you're looking at who's going to be the driving force, it has to be Herbert. So we're now looking at the passing game being our primary play calling.
Well, I think you're going to do that anyway. I just think you're a little bit hesitant when he's a rookie to put all of it on his shoulders. But you are right. We talked about it.
Processed information.
We talked about it. Week by week, every single game. You could go back and watch the old episodes. Every week when Austin Eckler came back, it was just like, here's 35 carries for this guy. It's just like, what is he doing?
But you saw Herbert, how he broke shit down. You show him a defense that he made a mistake against, then he didn't make the same mistake again. He was processing information so very quickly. If he made the mistake, he's not going to make it again. And so by the end of the year, he was really showing why he was the best rookie quarterback out there.
By far. So everybody's favorite backup quarterback is the backup quarterback now, Chase Daniel.
Mm-hmm.
Guy gets all the best gigs in the fucking on the planet.
I love it, and I love it for Chase. You have the best job in America,
Dude. Chase Daniel could be a backup to Justin Herbert for fucking 8 years.
Easily. Yeah, he could have the longest career for a backup ever.
Yeah,
Now,
literally.
I'm him. If I'm Chase Daniel, I'm trying to be Tom Brady of Chase Daniels.
Yeah, I'm trying to hit 20 years as a backup.
Straight up. Why not? He could. Why not?
It's not like his arms there's any wear and tear on him.
First of all, who's ever gone for that? And then who's going to challenge that? You'd be a trendsetter.
Yo, it's like Bull.
I would put him in the Hall of Fame just for that.
Dude, it's like Bull Durham when Kevin Costner's going for the home run record for minor league. It's just like who wants that record?
Who wants it? But Chase would.
Why would?
Chase.
Why not?
Come on, man.
Dude, he lit like if Herbert stays healthy, Chase Daniels could sit there for. He's already been in the league for like 13 years. He could fit there for 7 more years.
What did I say about backup quarterbacks? How can you have a long-lasting career as a backup quarterback? You have to be liked.
Yeah.
When they like you, they will bring you in. When you're one of those guys. Chase Daniels is well liked.
Well, I think Chase Daniels also knows exactly who Chase Daniels is. It always was.
Exactly.
And that's a good backup knows that they are a backup and they play the backup role instead of trying to compete for that starting job at all times with the starter.
Fitzmagic was well liked. Fitzmagic right now has the longest, but backup starter.
Yeah, he's different.
He's different, but he was well liked throughout the league. He always went into a situation as the backup and just always ended up the starter, except for the Jets situation. That's who he's been throughout his career.
Dude, they love him so much. Like
right.
Like
well liked. Hostetler, well liked.
The fans and the NFL community love Ryan Fitzpatrick so much that he has Hall of Fame chatter.
That's what I'm saying.
And that is hilarious.
And we laugh, right? But it's because he's so well liked.
That's what I'm saying. The whole world loves this guy.
It's the key. Be well liked. Your skill set is whatever your skill set is. You're a backup for a reason. Be well liked, and you can have a very long ass career as a backup. The very best job in America.
That's 75% of backup quarterbacks anyway. Straight up. When I played, Wade Wilson, Bobby Joe Hebert.
Bobby Joe
guys had long careers, man. I'm trying to think. The head coach for Dallas Cowboys at one point played behind
Jason Garrett.
Jason Garrett. Yeah.
Those guys. He was a joke in practice, man. Jason Garrett as a quarterback.
Of course he was.
They liked him, though. You know.
You well liked. This is exactly what the fuck I'm talking about.
Well,
just
you have to be well liked. You have to understand the offense so that you can, play your role, hand signals and all that shit, right?
Sure.
And you're basically there as a camp arm.
Sure.
Yep. Exactly.
Yes.
That's
and
it.
You have a long ass career.
The scout team arm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Camp arm, and that's
simple. Listen, make it to the league. If your ambition is to make it to the league, make it to the league. If you're a quarterback, I know you want to be the man, but you can also very much so be the man being the backup. Best job.
Matt Flynn, people.
Mm-hmm.
Matt Flynn started one game, week 17 against the Seahawks. Or was it against the Seahawks?
It was against the Patriots.
It was against the Patriots.
The Packers versus the Patriots.
Threw for over 500 yards and got a $55 million deal from Seattle, and then lost his job. Russell Wilson. Yeah.
Matt Moore has been bouncing around this league for years. You know why? He is well liked in the month.
I mean, Chase Daniels, he's got it. He's been the backup quarterback of our generation. Like, this guy is.
So is Matt Moore. Check Matt Moore. Matt Moore's been in this thing for a minute. Because remember, when Tannehill first got in the league, Matt Moore was in Miami.
Well, another one who has had a fantastic backup career has been Brian Hoyer.
Brian Hoyer been all over the damn place.
Got a couple starting gigs, won some games. Got to start for his hometown team for a season. That was fun. Keeps ending up in New England because he's well liked up there and he understands the offense, and he just bring him back.
He could just he's literally another coach on the sideline. He's a player coach.
Yeah. So as you previously stated, their running back room for the Chargers not so strong. Probably the weakest part about their team, to be perfectly honest with you, because they're pretty solid.
It absolutely is.
I mean, Justin Jackson's their backup, but remember, I can't remember the name of their third, Bilal. What was his name?
It was Kalen Ballage.
Ballage, yeah, that guy was running hard last year.
Out of I think he went to Oregon.
Yeah, I liked him.
Yeah, he was running like his life depended on it. I hope he got a contract somewhere.
He had to have if he didn't come back, because their back end of the running back room is terrible. Larry Roundtree the third and Joshua Kelly. Who the fuck are these guys?
Yeah, Josh Kelly. He got hurt. He was supposed to be the guy that they were also looking at to really step it up. But then Justin Jackson was doing his thing, but then he got hurt. Obviously, Austin Eckler got hurt. Yeah, they're
young. They're a young running back crew. You guys are rookies.
Well, this whole team is young, Roger.
Yeah, they got about 5 or 6 guys with 10 or more years. And your boys got the most. Chase Daniel with 13.
That's what I said. He's 13 years in at this.
Yeah.
It's amazing. I love that for him.
Yeah, and he got to sit behind Drew Brees for a while. Didn't he get a ring with them? Wasn't he the backup for them?
Got ring, yeah. It's like the Adam Morrison effect. Adam Morrison got 2 rings sitting behind with Kobe.
Yeah, why not? Whatever. So, Keenan Allen, monster, all pro, literally unstoppable at the peak of his powers right now.
Which I just hope his knees stay healthy, because he had multiple seasons in a row where he just got ACLs, especially early on in the season.
Well, they lean heavily on that guy. Like, they've been for a while there. He was kind of it, because every other receiver that they added into the fold just didn't pan out like they wanted it to.
Well, because there would be the taller receivers on the other side, and they would always get hurt. Remember, Vincent Jackson had his years there. He would always get hurt. Jefferson would always get hurt. This guy, the next guy, this guy, the next guy.
So now it's Mike Williams' turn.
It's Mike Williams.
Because it was Ty Williams, and now Ty Williams has gone to Detroit, if my memory serves me correct.
Yeah, because he went from Vegas there.
So now, it used to be Ty Williams was there for a while, and now it's Mike Williams gets his shot. We'll see if Mike Williams, another person who has trouble staying healthy. Behind them, all youth. A lot of these guys are first and second. KJ Hill Jr. is on their squad now. He's been in the league for a few years. The rest of them, Josh Palmer and Joe Reed, these are all young players, rookies.
Josh Palmer is who they drafted.
Yeah, from Tennessee.
He's a 50-50 guy. Big dude.
They always try to pair a big guy.
Yeah, they're actually looking for him to contribute this year.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. They're trying to find that big guy to go opposite of Keenan Allen.
Who was the other one?
Joe Reed.
Now, remember there was another receiver last year, later in the year. He's a younger guy.
Jalen Guyton.
Yeah, Guyton. There.
So he's their number 3 guy, so.
Okay. Yeah, so I'm looking at him. I'm going to be looking at him this year as like one of those sleeper fantasy guys who can get busy.
I look at him like Rashard Higgins' year last year.
Yeah.
Because, the young guys always, we talked about it, the young guys, just because they hang out together, tend to have a better rapport.
And Herbert have a very great rapport.
Yeah, Keenan Allen's got to be 7-8 years older than him at this point.
Yeah, easily.
So you're looking at what I'm saying. So
the OG right now.
That's what I'm saying. So you're going to look at Herbert and
actually
Herbert and Guyton to have a really good rapport over the next couple years.
Yeah.
Carl Walsh, thanks. Let's see. The offensive line, Corey Linsley goes from Green Bay and becomes the center over there. It's a big pickup for them.
Humongous. And I bet you right now, Corey Linsley is having conversations with Herbert about Aaron Rodgers.
Yes.
They are having these talks about what Aaron Rodgers did as a
all that.
Because Herbert is asking the questions because that's who he is. He was a med student. Like this guy is like,
people forget that.
Gray anatomy brain.
That's what I'm saying. They look at the lack of yell, and they forget that he was going to be a doctor. And
this guy's like,
doctors don't really have that demeanor.
He's having these talks with Corey about how Aaron Rodgers got down and like all this whole shit. We're gonna see Herbert get absolutely funky this year, just dependent upon. I don't know what this new coaching staff's gonna do, but if they let him loose, they let him do his thing, he's gonna get funky.
Well, I imagine Jared Cook is going to have a pretty solid year statistically.
Hell yeah. Young quarterback, tight end, you already know the formula.
And he will be cheap in the fantasy draft position. So
Jared Cook, I'm getting Jared Cook. This is like.
All right, so they really shored up the offensive line by getting Corey Linsley to come over, and then they draft Rashawn Slater. That's two giant pieces up front.
Which I wanted the G's, I wanted the G's to grab them, but yeah, that's a huge pickup for them. So now you're further protecting your main asset, your QB, which I thought Cincinnati took their sweet time to do.
Well, so I'll get to that as soon as I talk about this right tackle position. So Brian Bulaga moves from left to right now because you have Rashawn Slater coming down to play left.
Brian Bulaga, another former Green Bay guy.
Yeah, so they have three positions on their offensive line that they've shored up really well. So that's good. So the whole Cincinnati thing, I heard Cincinnati is taking the Indianapolis approach. When Peyton Manning was there, they ended up getting Peyton Manning offensive weapons first. And then building from there. And that's kind of why that was their justification. I guess, whatever. I would have got Petty. Whatever.
That's what Peyton Manning didn't have a multi-fractured knee his first season. So he had a neck injury way years later when he was already winning multiple MVPs. So, yeah, you could say that, but...
All right, defense for the Chargers is all about health with these guys because they have got studs.
Hurt, especially their young stud guys. Like when Denzel Perryman came from University of Miami, he was a tackling machine. He was getting busy, hurt. Sean Merriman, when he came, during his time, hurt. Look at what happened to Melvin Ingram when it was really looking like Melvin Ingram and Joey Bosa.
Bosa gets hurt.
Preeminent sack masters. Hurt. Both of them hurt.
Derwin James hurt for the year. Done.
James hurt. Like their safeties. Remember when they had King? King would get hurt. Remember when they had Jason Averett?
Everybody gets hurt out there.
He was like all pro out of his rookie gates. Hurt. Now, thank goodness he's Jason Verrett. When he's playing for San Francisco now, getting busy for them. But
yeah, he did have a career resurgence, so good for him.
Yeah. So I'm happy for him. But I'm saying they get these guys, but they just end up getting decimated.
I wonder if their practice field sucks or something. There's something going on there.
I don't know what it is about with it, though. I mean, they're out of San Diego now.
So now you have a common denominator, though, because they're playing in the same facilities that the Rams are playing in. So it's got to be the health staff, the doctors and whatnot. That's always been my theory, that the training staff fucking sucks. They've got to be friends of the Spanos or whatever.
Because look at it. Because I'll take Shaq, for example. When Shaq was, at this point, he was bouncing around in the league, and he went to Phoenix. He still says to this day, the Phoenix staff got his body.
Yeah, I heard it.
In the best shape that it absolutely could have been. And then Shaq was actually putting up numbers in Phoenix. You remember this. And then he went to Boston, and that's when he blew his whole thing out, and then he was done. But that staff in Phoenix was known for getting players right.
Well, Kerry, the greatest...
Like this, yes.
The greatest example of all of this of all time is Alex Gonzalez. TB12.
Yeah.
Look what this guy's doing. He's got his old trader who's doing his own thing. Guy got Gronk back into football, looking trim, running better than he's ever looked before. Gronk's using him now. So the training staff is very – I remember mine in college. Our training staff was fucking awesome. Mm-hmm. They were really, really good. So I never had any issues with them whatsoever. I imagine Roger Harper, Ohio State's training staff had to be fucking incredible.
Oh, yeah. Top of the country,
Yeah.
Besides – yeah, we had that the doctor who was molesting motherfuckers. So we ain't had that mess of a crew.
Well, I almost went to Michigan State. Like I was this way, and that's where Nasser really was.
Yeah, that's where he really.
So like I chose, so then I ended up going to Houston instead.
Yo, what's up with the Big Ten, man? What's up with the Big Ten? You got Michigan State, Ohio State.
I've been there with Nasser, and so
Penn State with their little, scandal and whatnot.
Oh yeah,
what's going on in the Big Ten, man?
I guess that shit's been going on, man. Yeah, it happens in the Big East too. Syracuse.
Yeah. It happened, dude. It's where there's power and money, man. Shit.
Yeah, shit happens.
Corruption soon follows, that is for sure. That's why it's so ridiculous that through a 20-year empire that the Patriots, the biggest scandals were really like sports cheating, deflated balls, spying, things like that.
I would say the Patriots are the CIA of the NFL.
I mean, I guess at the very, very end, Robert Kraft did get caught getting a rub and tug in a masseuse parlor somewhere.
He did, but so what begs the question is, then what the hell was D. Watson doing?
So, all right. So, what do you think of what's going to happen? You think he's going to play football anymore? I don't think so. I think it's a wrap. We're in cancel culture. We're in the beast is. We're in the belly of the beast right now. At minimum, he's going to have to sit out this year and work on his legal issues.
Well, you still have teams looking at him.
Of course.
The 25, going to be 26-year-old young man who has phenomenal skills.
And America loves a comeback story.
We don't know the story of these young ladies. 22 cases, I believe, at this point. We know nothing about that. Obviously, really interestingly, we haven't heard anything about anything. And the NFL has still not put him on any sort of exempt list.
Nope.
So he's still a member of the Texans who has asked for a trade, and so he's still part of the NFL community. No one has done anything, which is, I don't know. I don't know how to really take that right now. I don't know what to really think about that, because he has all these cases, but no one has made a move yet. No one has done anything. Everyone is just standing still.
Well, it's unfortunate that he's going through this shit, because I'm telling you, it goes down like that in every city.
Sure.
I told you, Bill Goldberg introduced me to this shit in Atlanta. So, the shit happens, man. It's just unfortunate. It's like being at the wrong place at the wrong time.
Plus, you're gonna catch. It's not necessarily an ambulance chaser, but you're gonna catch a lawyer like this who's gonna go out and build up and somehow find 22 people out of nowhere.
And that's the problematic thing. It's 22. So if it's for instance, if you identify, if I love acupuncture. I have one person who I go to for acupuncture because I trust that person and I know what they're doing, and I know, and so we have this flow.
It's a lot of different masseuses.
There are, but if you identify someone who is like your person, and this is devil's advocate here. You identify someone that's your person, then that's the one you're gonna go to.
Stick with every time.
That's what I'm saying. 22 is a lot of masseuses, dude.
So many different Masseuses, whatever you want to call them.
All right, so hold that thought right there. Let me close this one down and I'll open it back up because that's a lot of bad massages that he has gone through, and you're too rich to go through that. I'm sure the team trainers are good at that shit, so we'll talk about that in 45 seconds. That is a good thought. Why not use the training staff for all of that, considering that's what they do? They're doctors who have degrees in like kinesiology and massage therapy and things of that nature, and you're going to like massage houses and taking your dick out and stuff. So what is good with Deshaun Watson? So that means Deshaun Watson got to be, what's that, Flea, what's that, Darren Sharper. He's like the new Darren Sharper. Yeah. So literally like Darren Sharper all over again. Well, this will be our third hour of Gray Matter, so that means roll the fuck up, which I did. And I'm still smoking Whiteberry if anybody has any questions, because I usually ask y'all what the hell you guys are smoking. Look, I'm high. I played golf today. It was terrible, so I'm a little bit out of it. Yo, so what if Deshaun Watson is just the next Darren Sharper? What if that's just his thing?
That's just...
Because Darren Sharper literally had it all. You're a good-looking dude. You're rich. You had a very successful NFL career. You're now in broadcasting. You're doing your thing, and then you just like the Bill Cosby girls. That's your thing. That's what you do. Multiple states, like...
I mean, that's sick. That's some sick shit right there. Those guys must get real comfortable. Whatever, if somebody had to introduce them, and they get comfortable with their shit and take advantage of women and just that shit ain't cool.
And you have to, and what you also have to understand is that it's worked multiple times.
Yeah.
And where they've never gotten caught.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Or even if there was any blowback or pushback or there was any trouble, it got handled.
So, yeah, think about the layers of this. You have the times where nothing was said and nothing happened. Who knows how many of those are? And then compound that with the times that it did happen because you are a fucking megastar and the team squashed it somehow. You know? And they will. They'll go to the media and they'll make deals with the media. Like, yeah, I'll give you like 5 exclusive interviews and I'll do this charity for you if you don't put this story out. They'll do shit like that.
They've squashed stories. You know that. They've squashed stories about Tiger. You know that.
100%.
They've squashed stories about a lot of these uber mega star athletes.
Joe Montana.
Of course. Yes. Yeah. All these guys.
Yeah. You hear about them.
Yeah.
It happens.
Yeah. Listen, Jason Williams, when he was playing for the New Jersey Nets, the rebound. Jason,
oh yeah.
Like I met that dude, and I was just out and about, and we had like an encounter, and I saw who he was. And like how he would end up in certain situations. I could see how those things would happen.
So let me ask.
But I'm just saying, it's like we were out. We were out. And so
you're looking at them like, why are you out here right now?
And it was like, but then I got it. You know what I'm saying? Like I got it.
All right, so Kerry, let me ask you something since you are our Houstonian.
Yeah.
would the same thing have happened to Deshaun Watson if he wasn't in H-Town?
Well, let me tell you this though, like H-Town, like it goes down.
That's what I'm saying. So imagine if he's in like Carolina. Does this happen to him?
Nah, H-Town's a different beast. You know, people don't like people talk about a lot of other cities. Obviously New York is New York, Miami is Miami, LA is LA, right? You have people Chicago, this place, that place. Houston get overlooked. People don't understand like how poppin' Houston is, but those who know how poppin' Houston is know how poppin' Houston is.
Well,
and those know like athletes, like people who like go there, who really see what it is. So yeah, Houston is up there with New York, LA, Miami all day, every day. So
well, also you have to factor in he's a quarterback playing the gladiator sport that Houstonians place above all other things, like all Texans do. So
like Texans,
yeah,
God, football,
even more revered down there than
like football. Like it's like football, God, then country. Like football and God interchangeable, and then country.
Like I could see possibly the same thing happen to him in New Orleans. It's probably not a good spot for him to land in.
But H-Town is it though. I can see what you're saying, but like H-Town more so than New Orleans.
Well, also you look at the failed leadership of Houston, the Texans as a franchise, and their coaches too.
Bradley did them no favors. He traded away his best friend. Like, just, and think about it. Let's just say everything they're saying is true, right? I would be interested to see what the timeline was and if it correlated with his best friend getting traded away, like all
that shit.
And these are not disclaimers to say it was okay if everything they're saying is true.
So you're saying
that factors for whatever he may have been thinking.
So you're saying there's a possible Tiger Woods effect to where this is how he relieves stress during that very stressful time period.
And it could be that sort of thing. Like, I don't know. I don't know. Nobody knows anybody else like that.
All right, so back to the Chargers. Let's talk about the rest of their defense. We really got cut off on that one. Jerry Tillery is replaced Melvin Ingram. Jerry Tillery from TCU, unfulfilled potential. Wore a visor. Yeah, TCU always had the dopest uniforms, the helmet and black uniform combo. So I do remember him, but unfulfilled potential. I believe
Jerry Hughes was a TCU guy, undersized, but then kept his way in the league and became a leader for the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah. Jerry Hughes ended up panning out.
He did.
I'm actually wrong. Jerry Tillery. I got him confused. Jerry Tillery went to Notre Dame.
Okay.
He's a former first-round pick. I do remember his name. So he's been there. He's just now taking Ingram's place. So maybe they saw something in him that he was ready to take Ingram's place, possibly.
Well, and then they also have Bosa on the other side.
Well, if he can stay healthy, and Bosa is unstoppable. He's literally unstoppable. Linval Joseph is up front at tackle.
Oh yeah, because Minnesota didn't re-sign him. So yeah, good for Linval Joseph.
Especially with Bosa outside of you. That's awesome.
Yeah. Once a G, always a G. You've helped us.
Yeah. Well, I won't be bitter about it. Good for you for playing with Justin Herbert now.
He's a big body though.
Yes.
I remember when we got Linval Joseph. Like I never wanted to let him go. That dude could play. There
aren't too many nose tackles listed in the NFL, and he's listed as a nose tackle. So that tells you how big that dude is.
He's like a big dude who could like make a big. He can will fork that thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Light on his feet for being so big, definitely.
That's what I'm saying. That's who Will Fork was. University of Miami.
All right, Justin Jones is the other D end. I don't know who this is. Who's Justin Jones? Justin Jones.
Justin Jones. No, I don't know this guy.
See, this is the beauty of the internet. Who are you, Justin Jones? You are about to get some one-on-ones because you got Bosa. He went to NC State. I don't know. I don't know who this guy is.
Yeah.
He's got 1.5 career sacks. So, yeah, you suck, Justin Jones.
How long has he been in the league?
3 years.
Okay, yeah. So this is his shot.
Yeah. Yeah. And then you got Bosa, who is an all-world talent. Like, this guy's.
Yeah.
So, question.
This Hamilton moment.
Which Bosa would you rather have? Because I kind of like the one from San Francisco better.
That's a good question. They're both talented.
Yeah, that one from San Francisco seems a little bit more active, like outside of the line.
Like aggressive. Yeah, I get it. I do get it. And he did make it to a Super Bowl in his rookie year. And he was a big part of that defense.
Yeah.
The reason why they did.
Oh, yeah.
So, when we're talking talent-wise, they're obviously both very dope. But, yeah, you could easily take the San Francisco one. And I actually, especially at this point, I would too.
Yeah.
Even off injury. Yeah.
Well, it seems like, the younger one could drop back and cover. I don't really see Joey Bosa covered. I see him just getting to the quarterback.
Yeah, I got you.
So...
Does that very well. Joey does that.
Oh, incredible. Kaiser White, former WVU Mountaineer, is one of their safeties, and he used to be a safe. I mean, he's a linebacker here. He used to be a safety in college.
Yeah, 54, right?
Yeah, but he is a thumper, so they moved him into. And also, the NFL, as if you have not noticed, is moving. The linebackers are getting a little bit slimmer. You got to be able to run as a linebacker now.
Have to run.
And you
got. That's why Micah Parsons wanted to run a 4.5.
Yeah, you got to be able to tackle in space, and you got to be able to run. It's not so much just running downhill and putting your face into somebody.
Because you have to show propensity to drop back in coverage and get to these tight ends who are running like Evan Ingram, unfortunately.
Well, look at Pitts. Pitts is a fucking tight end, like.
Dang, but Pitts ran like a 4.4.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Could you imagine like Ray Lewis having to cover in Pitts? Get out of here. That's not happening.
Yeah. Well, Ray Lewis. So I met Ray Lewis back in the day in the barbershop. But this was like University of Miami brawling Ray Lewis, not Ray Lewis later when he was riding bicycles and boxing and cross training. That Ray Lewis slimmed down and was a different Ray.
Well, I'm saying, okay, so like old school, say like Kevin Green, like old school linebackers.
Green, like Lamar Latham.
Dude, they're getting eaten up by these tight ends.
Greg Lloyd.
Yeah, just destroyed.
Levon Kirkland.
Oh my God, Levon Kirkland would not be able to turn around and run up the seed.
260.
Dude, his hips were too big.
265.
Yeah, his hips. He was round.
But he was out of Clemson. No, he was monstrous. I loved it.
But yeah, go ahead and meet him.
But he had some speed on him.
Well, go ahead and meet that man in the hole and see what happens to you, though.
Pause.
Yeah. So they did draft Owusu. Did they draft it? Nwosu. Yeah. Nwosu.
Yeah.
Nwosu.
Kamara.
No, this is a different one. This is he must have not
the corner?
Linebacker
Out of where?
from USC.
USC.
Oh,
he's been there a while. This is his third year for him too. So this is another.
Oh yes, that's that guy. Yes.
So they have a lot of like second and third year players in the linebacker level that are now getting their shot to play. So we'll see what they do now.
I remember him. He got hurt actually. I think in that Saints game. Yeah, he played last year. He was actually all over the field. He is quick.
Yeah, you get him back in the fold. So
very quick.
So their linebacker, because Kaiser White, like I said, he was a former safety. So you're looking at a fast linebacker.
Yeah.
Now you get to their strength if they stay healthy. their secondary is kind of loaded a little bit. Like, because I didn't know Chris Harris ended up over there.
Yeah, Chris Harris did, yeah.
Well, I mean, before we talked about it last week, I had no idea. I was like, oh, shit. That's a big fucking pickup. So Chris Harris, Derwin James back in the fold. Huge, because that guy's incredible.
Yes.
And now you add Asante Samuel Jr. into the fold. To go with whoever, Michael Davis. Do you know who Michael Davis is? Who's Michael Davis? Because he's listed as their right starter, but I don't know how long he's going to hold that job. He's from BYU. Never heard of you.
Yeah, nah. See, I'm going to tell you right now, you already know Asante Samuel Jr. is going to be aggressive as hell.
Yeah.
You already know Derwin James is going to be in his ear. Cut that Florida State connection. And, like, what is expected out of Florida State DBs.
Yeah.
Deion Sanders being the lead amongst all of them, but Leroy Butler, Cromartie,
all of them.
Think of the lineage of Florida State DBs, monsters, right? So,
and Deion does stay in touch with all Florida State DBs who make it to the league, so he will guide them properly.
Yes, absolutely.
So Herbert had a huge year, over 4,000 yards as a rookie, 31 touchdowns, only 10 picks. This is huge. 30 sacks. Offensive line wasn't too good. Coaching was terrible. They put him in a bunch of bad situations.
A ton of bad situations. It was bad.
They did have Tyrod. Thank God to Tyrod Taylor, for opening the door for Justin Herbert to be a beast.
Go to the Hall of Fame just being like the ultimate, good luck Chuck quarterback.
So rushing-wise, they really split. It came down to both Eckler and Kelly had over 100 carries. Kenny Ballage ended up with 88 because he came out strong at the end.
But you have to realize how many games Eckler
was hurt.
So, yeah, you got to give it to him.
Only one touchdown last year. It's not 10 games and one touchdown is not. They had no production scoring-wise from the ground game at all.
Outside of Ballage, who came in and got biz.
Yeah, he had a couple touchdowns. He had 3 touchdowns in the last couple games of the year. Herbert actually led the team in rushing touchdowns.
That's what I'm saying.
That's never a good thing unless you're like, a running quarterback for real, and he's not.
Especially when Eckler comes back and then you try to give it to him like he's fucking John Riggins.
Yeah, that was insane, dude. That was nuts.
Come on.
It was literally like over 25 carries for like 3 weeks in a row, and I'm just like...
I was with Anthony Lynn for most of that, but I couldn't rock with him.
Well, I was picking up Justin Herbert a couple of those times. I was just like, yo, you're killing my fantasy, you assholes.
He was making some fuck.
This is the important shit, Roger Harper. Fuck your season. I need to win some money on FanDuel.
Text me, man. I'll help you out. I want to see you succeed.
Receiving-wise, Keenan Allen, over 100 catches, a monster. He only had 990 yards, though. He never cracked 1,000 last year. He did miss 2 games.
And he was the blanket that the tight end Hunter Henry was supposed to be, but he was hurt.
Yeah.
You remember.
Guyton did. We'll see what he does. He had 500 yards and a couple touchdowns, so we'll see.
Fast. He runs really good routes. Guyton is someone I'm watching.
Well, when you have 500 yards and half of them are yards after catches, you're...
Zacharoni Tony.
Yeah, so other than that, dude, they're kind of front-loaded.
They are.
It's...
But you have to, think about this. The Chargers, almost call them San Diego, dude. They've been front-loaded for
forever.
That's kind of like how they are. You'll have some amazing front-loaded starters, but you have no real backup. You understand? Like who? Name me who Junior Seau's backup was. You have no idea, right? Donnie Edwards when he was there.
Oh yeah, he could play.
He could play.
Yeah.
Donnie Edwards, but I'm saying Donnie Edwards wasn't Junior Seau's backup, but Donnie Edwards was another player there.
No, I'm saying I forgot about him, but he could play.
The only backups that you could actually name, I'll give you 2 positions. Drew Brees, Phillip Rivers, LaDainian Tomlinson, Michael Turner, and then Sproles.
Yeah.
Or then, and if you even want to go Antonio Gates, Hunter Henry. Other than that, you don't know the backups of all these guys. You have no idea. You don't know.
All right, so their linebackers, Keith Murray Jr. I think it's Keith. I just called him Keith Murray. It says
That's
K.
the beautifulest thing in this world.
It just says K. I'm assuming his name is Keith so that it's funny. Let me not disrespect this man. His name's it's Kenneth. I called him Keith because it's hilarious.
Oh, okay. I was about to say.
So much funnier if it would have been Keith Murray Jr.
He was about to get into a session.
Kenneth Murray Jr. led the team in tackles. Only 100 tackles led their team. That's not.
Oh, that's not.
Or that's a lot of players making a lot of plays.
Or a lot of players getting injured.
Yeah, that's more. There's not a whole lot of players on their roster that have 16 under the number of games played. That's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, man, just Bosa only played 12 games, had 7.5 sacks, 15 tackles for losses. I mean,
even still though, and you also have to think about the games he played where he was tripled over and couldn't even move.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because he was just coming off injury and they just threw him back in there and then the game went to overtime or whatever. So like a lot of his plays, there were quite a few of his plays that were just ineffective because he was out there and was super gassed.
And yeah, he's also getting double teamed. He's getting chipped by the tight end and by the back at all times.
Those counted as plays, but he wasn't back. You know what I mean?
Let's see. They don't really have anybody doing a whole lot on special teams. So, talk about Justin Herbert being the fucking
Desmond King. They got Desmond King the second out.
Yeah, I did not like that move at all.
I got rid of him. I don't even know where he ended up.
Yeah, I don't know what's up with him. I don't know why he keeps bouncing around like that because he is talented.
Damn good corner.
And one of the best punt returners in the league.
Yeah.
So, really odd with him. I don't know what's up. That's fucking weird. Let's see. Any Chargers news on the front page? Nope. It's all about Justin Herbert, man. We can always say this. The Chargers do have the best uniforms in professional sports. Those powder blues are incredible. So Larry Roundtree III is from Missouri. He's a rookie. I keep shitting on this guy because I know nothing about him. So he's their third running back.
Is he any relation to Richard Roundtree?
That's why I keep shitting on him. I'm just like... That's why I'm just like, oh man, it's Roundtree III. Oh shit.
I'm just saying he better be Shaft-like in all his movements.
Let's see. Yeah, most of their... That's about it, fellas. So, their Rashawn Slater was a huge pickup for them. Where they got him at anyway, that was huge.
That was ginormous, man. I really wish the G's would have got him, but I'm going to be watching Tony's career, slot receiver out of Florida, versus Slater's career.
Well, the thing with Slater, so you're looking at a Northwestern guy, so he's obviously very smart.
Yeah.
So that's a good pickup because Herbert, former med school student, so you're looking at getting a couple nerds together. That's a good pairing socially for them. That's a really good pickup.
Robert Smith, former running back, Ohio State, Minnesota Viking, pre-med student, gave up the game for C's to do this pre-med thing. Listen, I always wanted Robert Smith to get a ring.
So, speaking of that, there's a lineman for the Chiefs that is a doctor, and he's back for them now. He took a year off.
Yeah, he went to Canada.
To go back to Canada and go work on the Roni back at home.
Yeah.
And now he is back for the Chiefs. So their entire offensive line is changed. The entire thing has changed.
Game changer.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So really, Kerry, you got to think about with the Chiefs, it comes down to
Patrick Mahomes, his whole protection situation back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, they've completely revamped it, but
not a different situation.
But it all comes down to where do you go past Travis Kelce and Tyreek Hill, who is just a. We talked about this. This guy is just an explosive weapon that you hit home runs with.
Yeah.
He's not.
But they've maintained Mecole Hardman.
Yeah.
We see what his growth can be. Clyde Edwards-Helaire is coming back.
They need another receiver, dude. They need like a route runner.
Did they not pick up a receiver though?
I don't know.
I think they did.
I don't know. We won't talk about them for a while.
They did. I know they picked up more linemen, and I know they went defense.
I mean, with linemen, though, they have literally reshaped their entire offensive line has changed.
So that is very exciting. But what I'm saying is, you have to understand, with what their biggest keep was Eric Bieniemy.
Yeah.
So you still have him back, so you can have a Kelce back and a Hardman back and a Cheetah back and still be as dynamic as you ever have been. You still have those guys back because you still have him back.
Demarcus Robinson's their third.
DeMarcus, you know what? Don't sleep. Like these
I'm
guys,
not. So you got DeMarcus Robinson and Byron Pringle, who showed flashes, kinda.
Yeah,
he shows flashes because you have Mahomes.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, that's the problem, Kerry. There's nothing. It's a bunch of people that.
But the thing is he's been doing that with these cast of characters.
Okay, you have to talk about your only goal when you're that good is Super Bowls.
Sure.
Is this good enough to win you a Super Bowl?
Okay, so then let's talk about the running back room real quick. We got Clyde Edwards-Helaire, right?
Mm-hmm.
Who else is there?
Darrell Williams and Jerick McKinnon. So they got McKinnon from Minnesota. That's a big pickup.
From San Francisco, because he didn't. But I see why you said Minnesota, because he literally did nothing in San Francisco.
That's what I'm saying. I didn't even know he was there. I only remember him from Minnesota.
Because he tore his ACL his first year in San Francisco, and then when he came back, then he got hurt again.
That's what I'm saying. I didn't even know he was there. So yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So interesting that they got him.
Yeah.
Because there won't be like a true load on him, and so he can be the gadget guy that he was in Minnesota.
Yeah.
Well, in Minnesota, he was actually like the third string, and then the second string.
Second string for a while, yeah.
Yeah, then he was second string for a while. So okay. Because they had Abdullah then.
So their offensive line, they upgrade to Orlando Brown Jr. at left tackle, huge upgrade.
Mm-hmm.
They get Joe Thuney from the Patriots at left guard, who is now the highest paid left guard in football history. So that left side of the line is fucking stacked.
Mm-hmm.
Austin Blythe, I don't know who this guy is. He's now their center. He might have been there last year. They might have been the one guy that they kept. And then this Laurent Duvernay is the guy who came back from Canada.
Mm-hmm.
So their right guard comes back. They also add Kyle Long, who was supposed to be their right guard, and then this guy comes back from Canada. So now they've got Kyle Long as they swing back up. And then Mike Remmers is now the right tackle. So they are loaded up front.
Me that they're fucking amazing at offensive line.
Yeah, they're loaded up front.
Immediately.
Well, I think they took Kerry and Roger. I think they took the Patriots playbook. Just go spend it. Let's just go. It's an arms race right now. There's only a few teams at the top. You have to go for it.
And this is what I'm saying. They could keep the weapons that they had. You've now protected the most crucial asset in the league. He can get it to those weapons. Those weapons are still those weapons.
All right, so what happens to their offense if Travis Kelce blows an ACL?
I mean, we could say that about almost any offense in the league. Obviously, Kelce didn't get injured last season, and you saw where they went.
Yeah.
I mean, so we could say this almost about, a lot of.
Well, I just think the Sammy Watkins, even though he didn't do big things there because he wasn't required to do big things there, I think they don't really have that replacement. They didn't upgrade that spot.
I think DeMarcus Robinson, honestly, for as much as Sammy Watkins gave them, isn't adequate.
Possibly.
Yeah.
Possibly. All right, so the other black eye on that team, so to say, is that defense. I mean, it wasn't very good last year.
That defense was horrific.
Yeah, it wasn't very good last year.
You know how I feel about that shit. But I saw that they did effort in their draft to try to get some playmakers in there, really speed-wise, especially.
Yeah, they did. Frank Clark came over.
Yeah.
From Indy, so that's a pretty good pickup. And they do have the Honey Badger, who is one of my favorite players in the NFL, hands down.
Yeah. I'm always down.
Yo, I remember a play his rookie year, and that's when I already knew, being in my B squad is LSU, about what he was capable of. As a safety and punt returner, you don't become a Heisman finalist if you're not just like, he was a safety, people, as a Heisman finalist. That's like, as a sophomore. But rookie year, I think it might have been his first game. He got beat, and it was against Detroit. And he came up from behind. You know exactly which one I'm talking about. And Superman dove and punched the ball out at the goal line. And they got it back on the 20. And I was just like, see? Never out of the play. Knew he had there was one tiny window to make the perfect play, and he had to, and you knew exactly which one I was talking about. Dude, he's fully horizontal on that one. Bang! Perfect targeting. And I was just like, see, Patriots, you fucking idiots. All he did is
These were idiots for not grabbing him too.
Everybody in the league was stupid for not grabbing this guy.
Like, football, and football players. You want that guy on your team.
Oh my God! So WVU had a home and home against LSU, right? So WVU goes down to LSU and is going to upset them.
Mm-hmm.
Is up. There's a minute and some change left in the game. Don't punt at the Honey Badger, you fucking idiots. Don't punt at the Honey Badger. They punt at the Honey Badger. He doesn't score, but he has like a 70-yard return. Bam, they score, end up winning the game, upset, blah, blah, blah. And it's just like, you could hear the announcers were even saying it. I don't think I would kick it to this one right here.
Right.
Same thing happened when Patrick Peterson used to be back there.
You didn't kick it to Patrick Peterson. You didn't kick it to Charles Woodson. You didn't kick it to Rocket Ishmael. When you kick to Rocket Ishmael, he's changing your whole entire life.
Yeah.
You didn't kick it to Deion Sanders.
No.
You didn't kick it to Devin Hester.
No.
Because when you did, you knew your whole shit changed. You didn't kick it to Dante. Dante.
Dante Hall.
Dante Hall, the human joystick. You didn't kick it to him. Texas A&M. Chiefs. Remember that year? Him, Priest Holmes, Trent Green.
He did. He had more. It was like he had like a punt return for a touchdown in like 4 or 5 straight games.
My guy, Jermaine Williams, played U of H running back, and he started with the Oakland Raiders, and then he got to play with Dante in the league. We were at a Rockets basketball game, and then we saw Dante. He peeped him. He was like, "Oh shit, there's Dante." We played on the Chiefs together. I was like, "Oh, Dante, what we were talking about?" And he just hit him up. He was talking to me about that whole situation, because Jermaine was just like, at that point, playing special teams, and he was like, "Listen, everybody got to eat. If I don't do what I do, I lose my job, and I can't, do what I got to do for my family. So it's savagery, special teams, this whole thing." You know what I'm talking about, Roger Harper.
Mm-hmm.
So he was like, when he was there, it was 4th of July every time Dante Hall got the rock in his hands. Because this dude was just fireworks. They called him a human joystick for a reason. Like, this dudes couldn't touch him. Couldn't touch him. And it's a rare thing. Like, Rocket Ismail had that same sort of thing. You know, you like returners are, and it's such a sad thing to see how the return game is kind of leaving the game, because we look at a Devin Hester. Devin Hester should be a Hall of Famer just for his return game alone. He bested Deion Sanders, and I never thought anyone would. As the punt return, kick return any sort of kick.
Let me play devil's
one.
The only reason in my mind that he was able to statistically eclipse him is because Deion Sanders later in his career isn't returning punts.
You're right. Yeah, and you're absolutely right about that. But when I saw Devin Hester at Florida State, I said this is the best returner of the ball I've ever seen. And when he gets to the league, it's going to translate. And so when I saw Chicago get him, I was like, shit, because I wanted the Giants to get him, obviously. I was like, yo, they got one. He played corner okay. He played receiver okay. He was a true essence specialist. He knew how to return that rock better than everybody else.
Who was the dude from Desmond Howard? He ended up being a really good returner in the NFL.
Yeah, but Desmond Howard was actually also a dope-ass receiver, too.
Oh, okay.
Hester wasn't the type of receiver Desmond Howard was. Desmond Howard was a receiver.
All right, so we got 5 minutes left. This is the one topic I did not get to cover that I wanted to. Dude in DK Metcalf decides he wants to try to join the Olympics. Runs a 10... What was it, Roger? It was a
10-6 or something like that.
Yeah, 10-6 something. Well, the winners only ran like 10-1, so
10-5 in high school. Man.
Well, that's the thing. I was just like, dude, Eddie Drummond ran a 10-3 in high school. I watched him because I was chasing him.
Yeah.
So, I mean, now mind you, this man is 247 pounds, so that is kind of impressive.
Yeah.
But that's not.
Seventh place, but still, that was a fast time, though.
It's a fast time for being that. Cause Roger Harper, you watched it. Carrie, remember how Usain Bolt was like?
Oh yeah.
Same thing. It's like sprinter, football, sprinter. He's so much. When they're in the blocks, he's like his back is like 2 feet higher than everyone else's.
I get it. That was my problem with all those shorter races, like the 100, even like the 100. I'm 6'3". Like,
well, here's the impressive part about it, Kerry. And when you go ahead and YouTube it and watch it,
amazing to me.
He actually kept up with everybody through like the first 20 to 30 meters. That was the impressive part. They actually skated on him at the end because as a football player, you're not really trained for that 80 to 100 yard section.
Yeah.
That's usually where you're kind of coasting if you've ever actually ran that far.
Right. Yeah.
And that's where they're finishing at. That's their strongest point. So I expect him to not have the running experience to actually know how to run that one. But out of the gates, being that goddamn big, he actually kept up with them. Well, here's the issue, though. This is like a pro league or whatever. These guys to get in the Olympics, you have to run like a sub 10-1.
Oh yeah. No, it's like it's like that's what it is.
So and that's just to qualify for the American team. Right. So you're looking at
so that's regular.
That's like 9-9 to 9-8 range in order to like do something.
9-4 now, like 9-4, 9-3.
Well, that's like Hussein and them. Just like to be in there. If you're going to make that final 8, you have to run under a 10, guaranteed.
Yeah.
Your speed has to be so ridiculous. Listen, we don't even talk about that.
Well, so see, that's why I'm saying. So you see a football player trying to transition to track. It would be interesting to see Tyreek Hill run the 100 because he's built for it.
It helps. Yeah, it helps.
But Kerry, we've seen numerous times a track athlete transition into football. This is the first time we're seeing it the other way around.
Yeah, sure, yeah.
And he's not even the fastest player in the league. It's interesting.
In the league, right? Yeah.
Tyreek Hill would be interested to see him run 100 because he's short. He's built for that takeoff.
Hardman, or this kid Anthony, what was his name?
The one who actually is trying to qualify for the Olympics. Yeah, so those guys. So, all right, Zoom says we're done. Cool. I'm going to go get some food and hang out with my dog. Fellas, I appreciate your time as always. I don't know who the fuck we're looking at next week, but we're getting into the good teams if we had the Chargers this week.
Oh, yeah.
Who cares? We can freestyle it. It's the off season. Who fucking cares? There's no teams going to OTAs. We talked about it. So that means camp is going to be the first time we see like football starts. It'll be camp again. It's like all the way till August until we're going to like anything happens now.
Yeah.
This fucking sucks, man.
Figure out who we got next week.
That's why I'm out on the golf course, Roger Harper. Shit.
I see, bro.
All right, fellas. Talk to you later.
Peace.
All right, everybody. I appreciate you coming through for this episode of Gray Matter where we broke down the Chargers, which is dope because I watched the Chargers literally every snap last season. I did not miss one because Justin Herbert, I love good quarterbacks, and that's all I really care about watching is competent quarterback play, at least on the NFL level. So, appreciate everybody for coming through. As always, RIPP 333. Today's Tuesday, tomorrow's Wednesday, so I'll probably be mixing a beat tomorrow night, maybe tonight. Who fucking knows? The next time you will guaranteed to see me on here is Thursday for Beat Boutique, and I have finished... No, that's the wrong word. I figured out what May's beat battle is going to be. And I'll let you know on Thursday. So, till then, keep fighting the good fight, everybody. And I will see you Thursday at 9, I think. It's 9. Yeah, 9.